All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, like always, give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yeah,
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Hakadosh.
Dash.
Do our honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach on the sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to Yakim out there doing the work with truth and sincerity. Till next time. Oh, Salaki. Jake, sleepy, man. Catch your hell, man. I'm over here trying to close out and open up at the same time. But yeah, double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach on the sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to y'all come out there doing the work of truth and sincerity and risking your freedom and lives to do so, man. Shalom. Uh, we didn't have really nothing, as far as like a main topic, but the spirit just hit. I forgot about this article I had earlier. Maria was telling me about pretty much the whole shit going on with AI, which goes back to the big beautiful bill that they passed last 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much in this article, it was posted March 2nd at 2026 at 9:22 a.m. And it says how OpenAI caved to the Pentagon on AI surveillance. It says the law doesn't say what Sam Altman claims it does. And pretty much going into it, it says part of AI versus the Pentagon, killer robots, mass surveillance, and redlining.
Mm.
And we all know what those, particular things, consist of, especially, you got Elon Musk creating those robots. Beloved brother Matazal, he brought out in one of the lessons that we did, the humanoids, and we pulled out an article, and it's pretty much these robots, I think range between 15 to 20K, where they can pretty much come do all the chores in your home and pretty much be that maid. And that's essentially that gradualism that they did in the movie I, Robot.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I was just watching that last week.
Yeah.
But they put it right in front of our face though.
Yeah. Yep. And what happened when they went rogue? They turned red.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it says, reading the article, it says on Friday evening amidst fallout from a standoff between the Department of Defense and Anthropic, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman announced that his own company has successfully negotiated new terms with the Pentagon. The U.S. government had just moved to blacklist Anthropic for the standing firm on two red lines for the military use: no mass surveillance of Americans and no lethal anonymous weapons or AI systems with the power to kill targets without human oversight. Altman, however, implied that he found a unique way to keep those same limits in OpenAI's contract.
Mm.
And it says two of our most important safety principles are prohibitions, Salakia, or domestic mass surveillance and human responsibility for the use of force, including for anonymous weapon system. Altman wrote, the DOW agrees with these principles, reflects them in law and policy. We put them in our agreement. He added, using Trump administration's preferred name for the Department of Defense Department, the Department of War, right? So essentially what that made me think of is in iRobot, they had those three laws, and pretty much the robots couldn't, like, they were wired and programmed not to break those three laws, which matter of fact, let me look it up real quick because I forget.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is they adapted around the main one adapted around like the brain of the robots. I forget what was her name, Vicky.
Uh-huh.
She adapted around the three laws. She found a loophole. It was crazy.
Yeah, she overrid the system.
Yeah.
It says the three rules for the iRobot says a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Meaning, if they see a human being being harmed, they're supposed to intervene and help that human being from harming themselves or being harmed or injured, and they're not allowed to harm or injure a human being. And it says verse two, number two, a robot must obey orders given it by human beings except where such orders will conflict with the first law.
First law.
So if they gave them an order to kill another human being, they cannot do that because it conflicts the first law. You know what I mean? And it says verse of I keep saying verse number 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws.
Mm-hmm.
So let you know that they can't bring any type of harm to human beings, but we saw in the movie how to override that. So when you apply those same concepts to what's being read in this article, why do you need AI for DOD or Department of War and so on and so forth? Why do you need robots for that? Because y'all plan on using it against human beings.
Yeah, right. That's Sirach 12:10.
Yup.
Never
And it's
trust thy enemy.
con. And if you got any scriptures, you go ahead and bring them out. I'm gonna continue reading this. It says across social media and the AI industry, people immediately began to challenge Altman's claim. Why, they asked, would the Pentagon suddenly agree to these red lines when it had said in no uncertain terms that it would never do so? The answer, source told The Verge, is that the Pentagon didn't budge. OpenAI agreed to follow laws that have followed for mass surveillance in the past while insisting they protect its red lines. So not supposed to break those, particular rules. But we know, according to the big beautiful bill, that mass surveillance consists of what? Everything that you're doing. They're constantly watching 24/7, 7 days out of the week.
Everywhere.
They even got the cameras in the traffic lights, right? They got cameras like the movie, what was it, Supercell? Or not the movie, the show Supercell, were pretty much the Jake that was in London, and they had sickle cells in their blood, and pretty much the ones that had sickle cells, come to find out they had superhuman, abilities. And
Jake.
yeah, and it was all Jake, the minority, and they pretty much had mass surveillance on Jake in all the neighborhoods in these underground, tunnels, bunkers, and so on and so forth, because they were studying Jake. You know, you don't think they're gonna do that on a high level, or they're not doing that on a high level now?
Yeah, Esau's never going to help you, man. Like he might pretend like he's about to help you, but he has a ultimate plan of keeping you down. And just like in Supercell, they were trying to basically gather up all the Jake with those special powers and do them in.
Yep, and run those tests on them.
And let me get this since I brought it out earlier. It's Sirach 12:10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy." Come on, man, Salakia. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so
It's one of them days. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is the point. Though he humble himself and go crouching, because he will pretend like he's really in a betterment for America's nation or whatever. But at the end of the day, he wants to continue to put his foot on Jake's neck. Salakia. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. And I just wanted to bring that up because since when has this guy ever truly intended the best of you, benefit you,
mm-hmm.
You could keep going on, brother.
That was it on that. I kind of like skimmed through it.
Yeah, but he's putting it right in front of our faces. Plans. That's why it's very, very important to keep a keen, sharp eye on what's going on in this world. I'm talking about brothers that's in the know. Real quick, this is Romans 13:11 says, and that knowing that Salakia, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And we know all this AI, what is it gearing up for? Is to essentially get us in a comfortable state of things that aren't natural.
It's a new digital age.
And what's the most unnatural thing that he's going to try to do? Put something unnatural in your body.
Mm-hmm. Tiny technology.
Right. Everything's going to be. That's exactly. Everything's going to be technology. They're going to present it as this is the new world. This is the new way of the world. And like I said, the ones that's in the know, we know that our temptation is going to come because think about it. Everything's going to be, what is the old saying? Out with the old, in with the new.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to cast. They're going to treat us like outcasts, the ones that don't want to get down with the new, essentially.
Kind of, if I can, this is the definition for the word technology in the etymology, and it says a discourse or treatise on a art or the arts, from Latinized form or Greek technologia. It says systematic treatment of an art, craft, or technique, originally referring to grammar from techno, combining with the art, skill, craft, and work, method, system, and art, a system or method of making or doing. And it also says of weaving or fabricating, right? And it says to weave, also to fabricate. And it says the study of mechanical or industrial arts as a branch of knowledge, right? And all that, pretty much goes into their whole philosophy in regards to science, the technology, their art, their system, their methods of how they do
Yeah.
particular things. Because what they trust in science, they don't trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They trust in the physics and the what is it, the Big Bang theory and all these different things. They are carnal. All they do is deal with carnality. All right, they
Yeah.
deal with the physical, right? They don't deal with the spiritual and so on and so forth, and that's why they weren't able to receive that blessing or keep that birthright, because all through the spirit it wasn't meant for them to have it anyway. So now they're trying to obtain that blessing through their technology, you know, through getting people to the tiny technology, through upsetting the bet that he made with Yahweh Bashem Yahshua by pretty much searching out the depths of the sea and the skies and so on and so forth, the heavens and the galaxies and so on and so forth, man. He's
Yeah.
trying to do that because he wants immortality.
Yeah. And he's doing it by trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's trying to see what, well, what they think we're all goyim anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They want to see what bait that they throw out are we going to truly bite at as a whole. You know, but it's all to keep us blinded and keep us um with the wool over our eyes, essentially.
I got another precept. This is Job to the 5 and verse 10. It said, Who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. It says, verse 12 is the point. It says, He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Now I want to go into the word devices, crafty, and enterprise. When you go into the word devices, it says Maha Shabah, right? And it says thought, device, plan, purpose, invention, right? When you look up the word invention, it says origination, innovation, which typically means, growing, evolving, if you will. It says the action of inventing something, typically a process or a device, right? So all of this is a whole process. He's doing these particular things, making these particular moves, right, for his whole new world order or agenda, which is have everything technology based, going into the money, the entertainment, all right, food, relationships, right? Because you got the virtual, dating, the avatars, and all that. He turning everything digitally to where you don't have to deal with you know, the real life experiences, if you will. He's pretty much taking you out of society. And
Yeah.
then, go ahead. You had something.
No, go ahead. You can finish that. I just wanted to get
It
quick.
says a machine abstractly intentioned plan, whether bad, a plot, or good advice. It says cunning work, curious. It says device, imagination, invented means, purpose, or thought. So it's a plot to him, man. This is the whole device that he's doing. He's literally trying to, get the elect, because
Yeah.
if he destroy all the elect, then how can the elect receive that inheritance or bring back the nation of Israel and so on and so forth if everyone takes the chip? So that's his plan. That's his agenda. And when you go into the word, you had some Salakia.
Yeah, I just want to get this real quick because it
Come.
sets it up. Psalms 83 and 2. It says, "For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they
Mm-hmm.
that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel." You was mentioning the plot. They're
Mm-hmm.
plotting on us. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So that's essentially what it is. And the hidden ones are the elect of Jake. You know, not you ball players and rappers that's on high right now. It's the elect. The
Yeah.
meat, the men and women that's on the humble. You know.
When you go into the word crafty in the blue letter in the Hebrew, it says iram, wam, and it says subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly. Right? When you go into that word sly, and
Serpent.
these are just smooth, indicators or hints to let us know who this damn devil
Yeah, the
is.
serpent. Yep.
Yep. It says cunning, roguish. Rogue meaning, hey, you pretty. Matter of fact, let's get the word rogue because I don't want to lean on my, own definition. Let's get a solid definition. Rogue. It says idle, vagrant. It says sturdy beggar, one of a vagabond class. Did not the scripture call him a vagabond and a thief?
Mm-hmm.
It says thieves.
Mm.
It says thieves slang for a begging vagabond who pretends to be poor. And then it says dishonest, unprincipled. It says person, a rascal, and slight, playful, or an affectionate use. And it says large wild beast. Uh, it says something uncontrolled, irresponsible, or undisciplined. It says notorious lawbreakers.
Come on now, who has broken every treaty
Oh
that
my
they have
god!
signed? The honor system they broke.
Wait, I got a
Yeah.
preset for that because it's man, that's heavy. They said notorious lawbreakers.
Come on now.
Let's see, where's that? Dang, Salaki. I know it's Isaiah 20. I think this is it. Yeah, this is Isaiah 26 and verse 10. It says, "Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness in the land of rightness? He will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord," man. So he's in the Holy Land right now. He can't even keep the law, statutes, commandments. He can't do anything right. The scripture says when the children of Israel will be in the land that what? The law, statutes, commandments will be in their inward parts, meaning they're not going to sin. This nigga is constantly sinning. So that's a key indicator to let you know that he's not the people. Right? And
Yep.
it was another one that I wanted to get. Dang, I know it's in Isaiah. Because that goes hand in hand with
How it go?
The broken at the broken the covenant.
Oh, yeah, broken the covenant. I got you. Or by breaking the covenant. I got you.
Yeah, it's in Isaiah. They have broken the covenant, transgressed the laws. That's why the land is pretty much mourning.
Let me see.
I'm having
Sure.
a
Trying to find it. Hold on.
it pretty much goes into the curse have devoured the earth. I think that's the same chapter. Oh, I found it. What are y'all watching me outside? This is Isaiah 24 and verse 4. It says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the habits thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Yeah, so that pretty much back up the whole point, concerning the definition that I brought out, with which was rogue. All right, they broke on every last law, statute, and commandment that is in the scriptures, man. Okay,
Yep.
and y'all call yourselves a holy people. Y'all broke every last one of them, man. Y'all are notorious for breaking laws, like the scripture, like the definition just said.
Yeah, they're the top. Where their state, their capital, their state has the highest rate of GPS, I should say. You know.
And then when you go into the word enterprise in the Hebrew for that same chapter and verse, Job 5, it says thawashia, and it says wisdom, sound, knowledge, success, sound, or efficient sound, abiding success. The sound of efficient wisdom, abiding success, and enterprise, sound, working. Pretty much, you accomplished, or you're successful. That's your enterprise, something that is prosperous, if you will.
Yeah.
And pretty much, when you read this scripture again, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, meaning they're not going to get the job done. They're not going to be able to fulfill, whatever not responsibilities, whatever goals or aspirations that they had, as far as taking the Israelites down, giving everybody the chip, and pretty much being the king, or establishing a kingdom, forever. Because the scripture also go into how their inner thought is that their houses shall continue forever. They're trying to obtain immortality, and how they're trying to do through the devices, through their craftiness, through their lies, deception, and so on and so forth. Right. But what, the cat's out the bag? The Lord has brought his prophets on the scene to expose this damn devil, so he cannot perform that enterprise. And then when he start to try to put his hand on the prophets, the Lord is going to intervene.
That's right. Lift up a standard.
And this is verse 13. I'll read verse 12 again. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the fool is carried headlong. Meaning what? He got them in a trick bag, man. Okay, anything that they do, or think they one step ahead of the Lord, or so on and so. No, the Lord is moving your steps. The Lord knows what you're going to do before you even do it, and they think they're going to be able to trick the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai and do whatever it is they have fully set in their mind. And like you like to bring out, what do they say? Tell you want to make the Lord laugh. Tell him you got a plan.
That's right. And this guy has a lot of pride on him, thinking that he can go against the Most High. You know what I mean? That's insane, yo. That's crazy, man. But
hella pride though. You gotta think about that. You gotta let that marinate. That's hella pride.
Yep.
Because
that you can overcome the creator that created you to be that way. Yep.
Yeah, because it says that my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. Pretty much the Lord is above us, man. He said earth is his footstool, man. So you that prideful that you think that you could take down the Lord? Come on, man. You going completely the fuck off. And then it made me think about all these, people in the military that be, saying certain comments, or, these prideful Americans. He's just thinking like, bruh, y'all niggas is so prideful, not even realizing that World War III is going to consist of Yahweh Shemi Shai making his return, and you're going to have to fight him. You is not about to win. According to the book of 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter, they're going to fight the Lord. It says they're going to they durst fight. The Lord going to put the spirit on them to fight, and the Lord is going to annihilate them, man.
Annihilate. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yep. It's all been written too. Yeah. So there's no changing it,
Exactly. There was a vision. Esdras actually saw it. The Lord took Esdras, you know what I'm saying, and showed him the future.
That's right.
What's to come. That's why it got so bad. That's why Esdras said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days, man? These are the times that we're entering in, and we're actually going to see it with our own eyes. Like, we're going to see the Lord, Yahweh Ratazah, we're going to see the Lord crack open them clouds, come back in his glory, and man, just saying that just gives you chill, get you amped up in the spirit, because we know once the Lord, he's not playing no, he ain't wasting no time. He's delivering his elect.
That's right.
He's delivering his elect, man. You know, the rest is coming. The kingdom of heaven is coming, man. We just gotta endure it. We're literally this close, man. We this close, you know. But if you didn't have a precept,
that was it, brother.
You know, we didn't want to make it, you know, too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the water Yahbashim Yahshua for giving us a topic and the spirit, you know, to do this lesson. We hope and pray it was edifying to the hopeful elect. We want to face the east and give all praise, honor, and glory. Matter of fact, before we do that, brother got a precept on the comment board. Let me read it real quick. Shalom, Ayash Gabor, Yahbashim Yahshua. This is Isaiah 45 and verse 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the pot shred strive with the pot shreds of the earth. Shall the clay say unto him that fashioned it, what makest thou? Yeah, so the Lord is the creator. So you striving, you contending against your maker, you be a goddamn fool, you know. And the Lord gonna destroy his creation.
That's right.
You know, you Edomites about to be done away with, man. You niggas are gonna get burnt up, man, to crisp. You know, for all the wickedness that you have, you know, done, and how much pollutions you have did to the earth, man. You're going to pay double.
That's right, you know? Double.
So, hey, the water Yahbashim Yahushai, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, the honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who will and teach on the sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to you. I keep out there doing work with truth and sincerity. Until the next time, I want to say, Kwame Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.